So we're just going to say a couple things, and then if anybody wants to tell some stories, one of my dad's best friends, Doug, from his childhood, is here. And I'm super thankful he's here. And if anyone wants to say anything or a prayer or whatever they want to do, they're more than welcome. And then when we're done, Rosie, my sister's best friend, is going to sing a song. And then at 6, we're going to leave here. For anyone who wants to come, we're going to do a paddle out. And we're just going to release the rest of his remains, some of his remains, into the ocean where he grew up, here in North County. It's just a weird thing to be here today. So his friend Robert reached out to my sister last night and said that he had a ton of stories he could have told about him, and one of the stories he said was pretty funny. On his way to his first date with my stepmom Anna, he came out and said to Robert, "What should I wear?" And Robert's like, "I don't know." So my dad came out in slacks and a tank top. And Robert goes, "No, don't put a dress shirt on." And if you knew Anna, you'd know she was kind of a topper, so that would have probably not been good. So that was good. And then Rankin was just telling me, that's his other friend, he was just saying that, he feels a huge loss, and that, this morning was having some hip issues, but he said he has a heavy heart, and he said our dad was a super loving man and will dearly be missed. Rankin was the only person who ever made my dad feel short. My dad was 6'4", and Rankin was, I don't even know. I mean, he had to be like 6'7". It was outrageous. I mean, there's a picture of him on that board. Okay, so our dad. Well, first of all, let's start with his 5 kids. He had 5. I'm the oldest. All of you know me, you're all family anyway, but I wrote this as if someone didn't know. Cinnamon and the twins were next. And Aaron wasn't able to come, but what I want you to know about that is that, without question, my dad loved Aaron, and Aaron loved my dad. There was never anything but love between the two of them, and, he would have been here if he could. We also have a brother and sister in Oregon, Mark and Jenny. They could not attend either, but sometime in the future we'll be doing a small service up in Oregon with our dad's workmates. And my dad's workmates are all pretty devastated, and they loved him and adored him, and said he was easy to work with and easy to get along with. Mark and Jenny, they're technically his stepchildren, but he was 100% their dad. They came into his life at age 5 and 7, and Mark and my dad were best of friends, and our dad's relationship with Jenny was just as strong, and the 4 of us have stayed very close, and my dad was a funny guy, and he's definitely missed. My dad had 8 grandchildren that he loved and adored. Boys here, Jake's and Bryce, my sister's son Miles, and Aaron's girls here in Coral that couldn't be here either. And then they have Mark and Keely, who's just been so amazing to my dad over the years. They have a daughter, Adley, and a son, Brecken, and he spent a lot of time with them, and just loved them and talked to them about them all the time. Our dad radiated love with his children and his grandchildren. The grandkids always seemed a bit in awe of him because of his 6'4" height and his gentle ways. I mean, so many pictures that just the kids just don't even know what to do with such a big dude who hardly said a word, and when he did, his voice was very quiet and soft. He lit up with his grandkids. He lived so much in these kids. Obviously, Jake resembles him in so many ways with his looks. He has his hands, his crazy long toes that he says was a sign of intelligence. My dad and Jake shared the love for ham sandwiches and milk. My dad took a ham sandwich to work almost every single day. As a young man, he could put down a good amount of milk. My mom talks about that all the time. Troy was blessed with our dad's long, gorilla-like arms, his jawline, and tall, slim stature. He shares our dad's middle name, Daniel, and so they both have the TD initials. Our dad loved to swim and was pretty good at it. He used those long arms in the water just as Troy does. Bryce has our dad's incredible hair, though lighter in color. Match up, as you can see in some of the pictures inside. He has our Dad's hands, and our dad loved the ocean, and he loved surfing, and Bryce often surfs in some of the same spots our dad did. And there's big man Miles. Miles has some smirks and smiles that remind me so much of our dad. Our dad was really good at witty one-liners. And at this young age that Miles is, he's got the same thing. He says some things with a straight face that make us all die laughing. And he doesn't even know it yet. But he certainly has a lot of our dad in it, and I'm super excited to see which more comes out of him. My sister, she reminds me a lot of my dad. She's got the same complexion and the same smile, and she swings her arm when she walks, just like he did. And for myself, I don't just find a lot of comfort in having him around us over the years, because I can see him through all of them. Our dad, he really loved North County, and he loved Southern Oregon. We will send off half of his remains today into our beautiful ocean. At a later time, we will take the rest of his remains back to Oregon and put them in the Oregon soil, surrounded by the beautiful trees he loved. We will be planting a redwood tree in his honor up there. He asked me to do that. I think a redwood tree is very fitting. A small, beautiful, strong tree. He was a beautiful, strong man. Our dad had a work ethic that was honorable. Work is what he loved. My sister and myself share that work ethic for sure. I believe we both married men with that same quality our dad showed us. I think my sister and I are more of the work hard, play hard mindset, but our dad was all work. It was good enough for him. He really didn't ask for more or need more. He loved college football, and had we buried him today, he would have been dressed from head to toe in beaver gear. Sorry, she's a duck girl. He also loved going to the movies, old cars, and food. He could pretty much name any old car we saw and tell us the year it was made. I don't remember many things from the day before, but he knew the car and could tell you the year it made. It was really miraculous. Loved DVDs. He loved to watch my boys eat. He could not believe the amounts of food they could consume. He tried to keep up with them all the time. He would say to us, "Those are some hungry boys you have." We spent many hours with him playing board games. He always wanted to play a game with us, and Yahtzee was his favorite. He was one competitive board game player. I could say a million more things about him, but most important is that we all really felt loved by him. He was a simple man, a loving man, and he was just awesome. It was 2 weeks ago today that I last talked to him. It was the night before his last surgery. His voice was clear and strong, and I told him, I said, "Dad, you're the bravest man I know." I said, just know that I don't know I would have the courage that you do. I will never understand why he was dealt the card he was with his heart issues, but I know he never felt sorry for himself, not once. Never complained, and never said a negative word. He would just get back up and go to work. I am grateful for every minute that we had with him. We will miss him so incredibly much. They should have written a book about a man who had so many feet of heart valves. It's just ridiculous. As he would say if he was here, it just ain't right, man. My dad was a man of God and prayed every day of his life. I believe his body and mind are at peace now, and that he will watch over us for eternity. So, if anybody has something they want to say, they're more than welcome to. If not, then that's okay.
Well, I'll talk a little bit. We'll come up here and sit down.
Yes, please do.
Not at a pulpit.
This is Doug. He's known my dad most of his life.
My name's Doug McDonald, and I grew up in Oceanside with Dan, and a small core group of guys. Dan lived in a subdivision called Oceanside Terrace, and I just happened to remember that the other day. And so it was a bicycle ride over to his house. There was a group of maybe a half a dozen of us were anyways, he was a real peaceful guy. There was always trouble brewing, and Tim would just steer everybody away from it and tell people, you know, cool heads prevail. And you know, I was thinking about this group of guys that we hung around with, and we would stay at Tim's parents' house. Tim's mom would make breakfast for us in the morning. I don't know how she'd put up with us. And I was always the early bird, so I'd be out there, and what are you making? It was Mrs. Plummer and Mr. Plummer. I couldn't tell you what their first names were. And I'd be the first person in the kitchen, and so I'd get all the good stuff. And the rest of these guys would finally, they'd have to go roll them out of bed. But I was thinking about them and realized that losing Tim just leaves me. And I just thought. But anyways, we had a great youth together, and as I said, Tim was peaceful, never causing trouble. But he, you know, he had a kind of an appearance where people wouldn't mess with you because they'd look over at Tim. Now he was just tall, and I think that was enough to protect you. His wife then was a good friend in high school, Justin, Joni. We were all pals together. After high school, I went on to Miracosta. I never saw Tim again. I remember I'd asked people in a brief stint in the Army. I came back and fit back in the community and tried to enjoy myself, and I decided I needed to get out of here, and I moved to Boston and got a job back there. Pushed the clock up to 1980. That was 1976. I was out here visiting family, and I was going down the road in San Marcos, just driving it, and he passed in a car, and we locked eyes. And it was funny, and we both pulled over and came back, and I started talking to Tim. Tim, where the hell you been? And, you know, exchanging, swapping stories. And he said, you know, there's just a lot of bad dudes around here. I need to get away. I said, why don't you come to Boston? We own this house on an island. It's a bunch of guys that I flew with. And he came, and we made an East Coast guy out of him. He fit right in. Everybody loved him. The island was full of fishermen, some guys that worked in construction, and this house full of guys working for the airlines. Well, Tim was the most mature out of all of us, and I think he kept us in check. You know, we'd roll in at all hours of the night, and he'd have to drive because Tim wasn't interested in, you know, getting out of control. So he spent a couple years with us, and one day he came to me and he called me Dougie. He says, Dougie, I miss my kids. I'm going back to California. So he packed up, headed out, and I ended up moving to New Hampshire then and lived there, got married, and raised a family and that. But about 4 years ago, I rode my BMW motorcycle cross-country to Oregon and had to go see Tim. I was with a group of guys. I only got one of them who'd volunteer. We were in Salem to go south and stopped in, and it was like never missed a beat. And, you know, it was a great guy.
That's it.
Thanks, Doug.
Justin was like a brother to him, my uncle. All right.
Need some words too.
Well, at least your font's not as big as mine. I mean,
Definitely.
real. I have to pull
I
out
might
my
need that.
glasses or what?
If I slow down, you'll know why.
So, all right.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved the wretch like me. I once was lost, and now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Through many dangers, toils, and snares, I have already come. hath brought me safe thus far, and grace will lead me home. Ye when this flesh and heart shall fail, and mortal life shall cease, I shall possess within the veil a life of joy and peace, a life of joy and peace.
My dad loved Rubios, so please eat. My sister was like, we have to have Rubios. We have to have Rubios. So please eat as much as you can. Thanks for coming, sharing your experience with us. We appreciate it. We love you. And I love you. All right, eat up.
That was beautiful. This and everything.
Yeah, of course.
You have a beautiful voice.